it rains here a lot. So you have dreams of traveling in Southeast Asia to, beat the winter and go someplace warm, which I fully recommend. You do also have to take into account that during when it's winter in the rest of the world or rest of the northern hemisphere, that difference in temperature doesn't just not affect Southeast Asia at all. This is what they call rainy season. And so, like, if you can tell from this wonderful background and everything, it actually just stopped raining a second ago. I was kind of hoping to capture it coming and me hold my umbrella to just so you guys can see it in action. But I still have to get to the gym, so I can't, hold this up forever. But it also brings up an excellent thing that I was thinking about, which is if you are going to be traveling in Southeast Asia during November or December, depending on what country it is kind of like dictates the really bad rainy season. I know that when I was in Thailand a couple months ago, towards the end of October is basically when rainy season wraps up. But here in Indonesia, since I got here, I was in Jakarta and I was in, now I'm in Bali. It's been raining nonstop. Like in Jakarta, it was raining all day. It would be coming down like for hours, and it would be pretty hard. And so but that's the main reason. Hold on. One of the main reasons you want to keep into account for this when you are preparing for a trip, if you are going to be traveling for a shorter period of time, you're doing like a week, 10 days or so, packing is going to be something you're still going to have to think about. But really what you need to plan on, since you are going to be here for such a short time, your probably main emphasis is, just doing tourism, having an itinerary and doing the sightseeing and going around. One of the things you have to think about is if it's going to be raining frequently throughout the day, very intensely, what kind of activities do you have planned in your itinerary that you just can't wait to do, that all of a sudden you're going to be affected by the rain? You might have to push it off to a different hour of the day. A lot of times it's going to turn into you having to completely rescheduling it to a totally different day. And so depending on how thick your itinerary is, how many things you want to get done, you need to take it into account that you're going to lose several days worth of activity to the weather. And so one of the things I am planning on doing before I leave Bali is dropping you guys a nice little video of different items, like a top list of itinerary items to help you if you're planning on coming out here, stuff to see if you're coming out here for a shorter trip. As far as if you're doing a longer trip, as I was saying on some of my other videos, if you're doing a longer trip, you're probably going to be doing some work while you're there. You're probably going to either need to, be hanging out in the cafes a lot or hanging out in a co-working space. The big reason that's going to be important is because that means that you're going to have to have more wet weather appropriate items with you. For example, I have this backpack with me that, as you can see, I put the little wet weather cover on there in case it starts raining. I made that mistake back in Jakarta. I was walking around, it started raining, I pulled out an umbrella, and I was fine, and I thought I was holding it far enough, like behind me, and no, it didn't. I did protect my electronics, but everything that was in the front pocket got absolutely destroyed. So like my notebook, my little sort of card that they gave me to allow me to like go to the gym and all that other stuff got messed up. So that was not helpful. So if you are going to be traveling for a longer term and you're going to be doing some kind of work and you're going to be in Southeast Asia during wet season, I highly recommend having a bag that does, like, two options are basically have a backpack like this that has sort of a kind of cool little built-in cover that you could just pull out, throw over it, and then you're going to be protected. The downside of that is bags like that tend to be, you know, they're bigger, they're bulkier, so in some cases they make a decent carry-on item, but in a lot of cases, just getting yourself the right size of bag that is both a good carry-on and is also a good daily backpack for when you're just working or you're going to the gym. You know, it can be a little bit more of a bigger pain. One alternative that I like is rather than having either a bag that you have to double down as a carry-on or as a daily commuter bag, or you have to like pack it into, which is what I'm doing actually right now. I'm packing this bag into my roller bag for my check-in, which I don't recommend that. One alternative that I do recommend is they're making those little super minimalist waterproof bags. It is basically just like the internal little compartment. It doesn't really have a whole lot of structure to it other than like the main compartment and the little flap, and they're generally made out of some kind of waterproof material. And the nice thing about that is it has the minimum amount of functionality you need for like a daily commuter bag, but because they're so small and minimalist, you could pretty easily just like roll them up and pack them like they were an item of clothing. Quick product drop. Something that I'm working on right now is having that same concept, that same bag of a minimalist waterproof bag as a daily commuter. The one feature that I saw that a lot of them have, or the one that they're missing, is they don't really have like an easy like set of straps you can use to like roll them up and tighten them down and sort of cinch them down, almost like a sleeping bag. And so you have them in the roll, you know, you can put them in, you can roll them up, but they're not going to be very compact. They're still going to end up being bulky. So I am developing right now a minimalist slimline bag, part of my luggage company that I'm launching, Exile, that has little straps on it, so you can roll it up and you can tighten it down, and then it'll be a lot easier to fit inside of some other piece of luggage, so that you don't have to like try to find the one single bag that's a good, you know, a good carry-on only bag slash, you know, daily commuter bag. And so if you follow my channel, you're going to hear more about that over time as it develops. Really, the main key thing was to just talk about being prepared for the rain if you happen to be traveling in Southeast Asia during the winter. And pretty much the time periods you got to look out through is November through January. And aside from that, just stay dry and subscribe for more.